This is a government website. Florida Seminole Wars. Now this has a lot of pages. Timeline of the Seminole Wars. And this is, again, a government website. Second Seminole War. And this is a war that the Bahamians definitely helped in. It says right here, because the government believed Seminole forces were being supplied by Bahamians and Cubans, the Navy had been patrolling the coast since the beginning of the war. That's one of the references to us. And the plaque about the sloops coming across the coast in the 1820s, that was us. That's why they started putting lighthouses around the motherfucking edge of the coast. And we were coming in sloops, which were considered Native American boats. Okay? We were helping our mainland family, which is why I hate when certain things are written in contemporary documents now to erase the history. Of course, they don't want to write it like they were losing, but they lost this war. See that plaque right there? I also have this plaque on my page where it says the Seminole Indians and Bahamians and Americans, which they put those separately, right? Fought in that war. And that's how a military trail got named. Yeah. And you see FloridaHeritage.com preservation markers. You can go to that website and find all the plaques. And now, of course, people be trying to pretend us out of history. This is just for the people who want to actually read it. Native Americans possessed an organized military long before the arrival of Europeans in what is now the southeastern United States. Southeastern Florida, that coast, the Carolinas, all of that was considered Florida. How were the Seminoles able to fight against the military might of the U.S. government for over 40 years? Yeah, yeah. When I say we went partially into the Caribbean after they broke the treaty, for the Seminoles that remained in Florida for 40 years of conflicts, escape from the fighting would likely happen through forcible removal from Florida, fleeing into the Caribbean, or to die in battle or ambush. Simply put, most Seminoles fought hard to stay on their mainland, never knowing when they might be captured or killed over the long years of the Seminole Wars. Such a long period of warfare affected surviving generations, reaching far beyond the years of the hostilities between the Seminoles and the United States. Among modern Seminoles, oral stories of wars are still being told. In the Caribbean? Where in the Caribbean? Who's right next door? Oh, Seminole leadership. What color is this man? Brown. Not that white ass color y'all be seeing today. They make sure to put Bahamians in the plaque, even though websites like Ancestry is putting like we just came to the Americas in the 1900s. Man, shut the fuck up. We've been here. They have a concerted effort to try and alter our history. This style of house is a conch house. Conch house. Okay? Bahamians has something to do with that. And I have those architectural structures also on my page. Attack on the Negro Fort. The what fort? The Negro Fort? Uh-huh. What is that all about? Now, not everything about this had to do with us. However, we was there. It's getting that action. I'm just making sure y'all have some resources to walk through. Because everything's being whitewashed. Bahamian trader. Jackson's army then advanced to the Suwannee River, where a Bahamian soldier of fortune and former Royal Marine officer Robert M. Brister was taken prisoner when he mistakenly entered the American camp. When the army returned to St. Mark's, Brister and Arbuthnot were put on trial for aiding the enemy and inciting warfare against the Americans. Both men were found guilty, and Arbuthnot was hung from the yardman of his own ship. Brister received mercy from the court, but Jackson overruled them and ordered the prisoner to face a firing squad. Okay, I hope you understand. This is blurry. You probably have to go to the site with the plaques to see better detail. Bahamians had a large hand in this war because that was part of our land we was fighting for. But let these people tell it, oh, Bahamians were only Africans. And Africans didn't really get there until after all this stuff. In majority, at least. And what I got alive for. His mother was a mixed blood Creek. Y'all all want to be related to Osceola, but he was a mix with Indian and black. And they're showing you the list of every marker and plaque in Florida. Not all of us was on no motherfucking reservation. As you can see, some got sent out, pushed out into the where? The Caribbean. Here we go again. Warships guided the coastline to prevent Indians from obtaining weapons from Cuba and the Bahamas. Why would we be helping each other if we didn't think we were like one people? While smaller vessels patrolled the inland waters, the Navy and Marines were also called upon to garrison forts, escort wagon trains, and fight the Indians. The Army soon discovered it was ill-equipped for the operations in a watery wilderness covered with numerous lakes and rivers, a situation that led to requests for naval assistance in conducting offensive operations. A new type of warfare was called for. Bahamians was showing them how to do that shit. Because we been over here. And we was accepting in the Africans because they look like us. Not look like us all the way, but they was brown too. So just so you know, Bahamians had a big hand in the United States losing, which in turn ended up setting off the fucking Trail of Tears. Because then it was like, just get all these niggas up out of here. Oh. See how she was brown as fuck too? Polly Parker. All these light-skinned and mixed people, they sold out and mixed out their bloodline. Massacre. See how these white people wasn't fighting fairly? And we was whooping that ass anyways? Exactly. Broward County. Broward County. Abiaka, or Sam Jones, was born in 1781, became the dedicated force behind one of the strongest resistance movements in American Indian history. Let's look at the color of the people. Brown. I don't know who all these light pale skinned motherfuckers are to this day. But they wasn't us. On March 22nd, 1838, 350 troops from Fort Lauderdale approached the island in small boats and were fired upon by the Indians. The soldiers spread out nearly surrounding the village. Fighting continued until nightfall, when the Seminole made their escape. This action forced the Seminole from the eastern Everglades into the heavily wooded Big Cypress. See these lighthouses? You know why they had these? Because Bahamians were coming in their sloops and stealing slaves off the coast. Yeah. They had to watch out for us. Who does this look like to you? Oh, exactly. I actually want to take a picture of that. Anyways, let's continue. Finish this out. I need to go visit there. Because the things, guess what? If you don't know, you're only exposed to what's out in the open on the internet. And they be showing some extra shit up in the museums. Billy Bowlegs. And you better bet your ass they had villages in the Bahamas too. That's why my grandma looked like how she looked. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. See, this an area where we was having that action. That action. Yeah. Back when Fort Lauderdale was called Fort Dallas. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he is from a reservation because I've seen his picture before.